Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining me again. I'm back, your movie guru, with another review. This time we're going to be reviewing a bit of a treat for me, something I'm happy to review. I know that I say that a lot. I guess you can tell that I like movies. But this one really is a treat for me to review, and that is Zombieland Double Tap. This once again finds us with Woody Harrelson, Jesse Eisenberg, Emma Stone, Abigail Breslin, and the sequel to the original Zombieland, which it's hard to believe because I can remember going out and seeing this in theaters, and it doesn't seem that long ago, but a full 10 years ago. So, October of 2009, I believe it was, when the original Zombieland first came out, and here we are a full 10 years later, the first becoming a bit of a cult classic, and I remember very much enjoying it. And so I was excited that they were coming out with a sequel, but also I had my reservations. One of the biggest problems that I find a lot with sequels is that sometimes director or producer, they will try too hard, to capture the emotion of the original, even if it's to the detriment of the film. For instance, if a film becomes a hit because, for instance, it was serious, but it had a bunch of comedic moments, then, in the sequel, if they make a great movie, but it's, a serious movie, they'll look on it and say, oh, the first one had all these comedic moments. We've got to have comedic moments in this one too. And so they'll try to force things in there, and it just really doesn't fit, and it messes with the whole vibe of the movie. I see that a lot with sequels, and then another pitfall I see with sequels is sometimes it's too much a clone of the original. So they do capture the essence of the original film, but it doesn't add anything really to the story. It's more just like a cash grab. Hey, the first one was a hit. We're gonna copy that formula exactly, and then make the second one, and then it doesn't really do anything to add to the story, and the movie doesn't really stand on its own. So that's part of the thing with sequels. I like sequels. I like prequels. I like when they expand on a universe. That I get interested in. But that's some of the pitfalls that can happen. Uh, I'm happy to say that that did not happen with this film. It's got a 70% score on Rotten Tomatoes, 80% audience score right now. The audience's scores are still ongoing, so we'll see how that plays out through the weekend. But this is something that I think that the casual moviegoer really enjoy. For me, I felt that they really did capture the same vein that the original had, but it's not contrived. It seems like a natural progression from what the first movie was to how this movie is now. What we saw them doing in the first one, and now it's 10 years later. We can see from where they were to how they are now. It really feels like a flow. Like we're not rehashing this, we're not contriving this. This is picking up where they left off. And then to that effect, if you enjoyed the first one, you're going to enjoy this one because it's very entertaining. It's a zombie film, but it doesn't take itself too seriously. It's like, hey, we get the idea of walking dead people. It's going to be a bit ridiculous, and so they relish in that ridiculousness. And they have a lot of humor, a lot of comedy, and it's not contrived. The funny scenes, they work. They blend into the film, and they enhance a lot of the scenes. That was part of what the first one did so well, and then this one really follows in that as well. One of the other biggest things that made the first movie that they continue in this movie was just the camaraderie between the characters. You really do see Emma Stone and Jesse Eisenberg and Woody Harrelson and even Abigail. You really see their characters like they fit. Like one of the kind of themes of this film, the second one, is how they've come to regard each other as family. and you can really see family dynamics like you would see, not that uncommon with a family that you might have grown up with, and so that really resonates with you. Like you could really, this cast is a cast that you can see that they're not just here for the movies. Like I don't know that for sure, but this is a cast that you wouldn't be surprised if you found out, 10 years later that, hey, they still hang out all together time from time, or they keep in touch, they phone each other. Not that that matters so much, what they do after the film is over, but I'm saying that's the kind of vibe that you get from these characters, like, that it really works. They really mesh with each other, and you really do get the sense that they're a family. And to me, that's a big part of why this film works. Because, like I say, it's funny, it's very humorous, but it's not strictly a comedy. It does have enough action that not everything is a joke. There still is tension, there still is suspense. You're still worried about some things that can happen. And then, like I say, it's a zombie movie. If you like zombie movies, then there's going to be some epic death scenes and some zombie gore. So kind of that aspect of a zombie film. You're going to get that when you see a zombie film, and they don't disappoint on that aspect either. They say, hey, this is a zombie film. We're definitely going to have the quintessential elements of a zombie film to keep that fan base happy. So I really enjoyed it. Again, another big thing I think they did was, I think that, like I say, it wasn't just, not only did they capture the original essence, but they added to the story. So from seeing the first one and seeing this one now, you are happy to have seen it, because the story does progress. You do get to learn a little bit more about the characters. You do get to see, where they've kind of ended up now, and kind of, where they're headed. And if there's never another Zombieland movie, if there is, I definitely want to see it. But if there's never another Zombieland movie, I believe this one does leave them in a better place than the first one did, as far as you being able to be comfortable with where it left off, and where you can extrapolate the story on your own of where you think, hey, this is naturally what would have happened to these characters. That's all I've got for this one. I think it's great, really fun. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Definitely a fun movie to see. I think this is a great movie to go see with your friends. Great movie, to take like on a date night, like, because I say it's one of those films that's very entertaining. As long as both participants are okay with zombie-related gore, really entertaining movie. It'll make you laugh. Like I said, it'll thrill you. Great scenes, great action. You'll really have fun with this one. Perfect movie to see for a weekend. And I know it's not exactly your typical horror movie. I guess it does fit the horror genre because it is zombies. But it's not, your typical terrifying, scary movie to see in October. But definitely a great addition to an October lineup. Definitely recommend seeing this one in theaters. 8 out of 10. Once again, hit the like or subscribe button if you guys like what you see. Drop me a comment. Let me know what you think. I really appreciate you guys watching. Thank you for your support. And until next time, have a good weekend, guys.